When Chris Cozad started to work as an auto technician 3 decades ago, she was a rarity in the business, a female mechanic. In the 30 years since, things haven't changed a whole lot. Women wielding torque wrenches, hunched over engines are still a pretty rare sight, except perhaps at one notable local repair shop, Alternative Auto Care. Part of what makes Alternative Auto Care alternative is that all the Cozad's employees are women. Chris is with me today to share 3 things you should do before you buy a used car. Please welcome Chris Cozad.
Welcome to this episode of Dames Bond with Mary B. Professional and personal insights provided by women.
Chris, a lot of times women are on their own when they go to a car dealer, and it's a little intimidating at times. And I know there are questions that we should be asking before we sign on the dotted line. So what are some of those questions?
Mary, are we talking new cars or used cars?
Let's go with used cars.
Okay, good enough. Because it's a very different process buying a new car versus buying a used car. I think the first thing that folks need to think about is they need to be patient. It's usually stressful. You're going to buy a car probably because you need a car, right? Something has happened to your old one and you want to go out and buy the first thing. So patience is very important. Look around. Make sure that what you're buying is what you really want. And then once you've decided on the car and it's the right color, it's got the right number of doors, etc., then you want to drive it. And I don't mean drive it around the block. I mean, take it on a thorough test drive. Drive it at freeway speed. Drive it harder than you might normally drive. Brake hard, slam on the brakes.
Are we looking for sounds?
Yes, exactly. You're looking for noises. You may not know what's causing them, but you know they're there. And then the third step, which we'll get to in a minute, is when you can figure out what those noises are. But first and foremost, listen to the noises, see how it feels. It doesn't even hurt to open the hood. You don't have to know what you're looking at. But if it's covered with oil, it's probably not good. So just take a look around, act like you know what you're doing, project confidence. The last thing, and this is the most important step, have the car checked by a shop or a mechanic who's working for you, not who's working for the seller. So, people get all excited about it. I'm going to buy a certified fill in the blank. But the person who looks that car over works for the seller, not the buyer. And you want to make sure that that car is in good working condition. Most shops do pre-purchase inspections under $50. It's money well spent, because I would much rather tell you what's wrong with your car before you buy it than to have to tell you, oh, you just spent, thousands of dollars on this car and it's going to need a transmission. So it's much better to be cautious on the front end. And any reputable car lot will encourage you to do that. There shouldn't be any problem with that.
You talked about confidence. What advice can you give women on building some confidence before they actually get on that lot so that they don't appear afraid?
Well, I think first and foremost, know what you're looking for. Know your price range.
So do some research. Do
some background. So if you know that you want to spend X amount of money, what kind of cars are likely to fall into that range, what your needs are. If you've got several kids, you might need a larger vehicle. You might be very concerned about safety or fuel economy. So know what's important to you. Mm-hmm. Remember, though, that especially with buying a used car, the most important thing is not the make of the car, but the condition of the car.
So when you're out and about and you want that car, confidence is you're going to have confidence basically if you do some research. Know exactly what it is you want. And if you find a car that you love, there are places like the Alternative Auto Care that can help you determine whether or not it's a good, solid buy. Thanks, Chris, for being on my show.
Thank you.
And as we say, when dames bond, dames thrive.
Thank you for watching this episode of Dames Bond with Mary B Relotto. For more great information, visit the Dames Bond website at damesbond.com. Also browse the other shows found right here at Columbus Biz TV Shows.